Hi everyone, welcome to Biology 112. So this is our first week in our fall term 2024. My name is Megan Anduri Flynn and I will be your instructor for this course. So there's a picture of me. I'll actually introduce myself in the instructor announcements, the introduce yourself forum. So you'll get to see me in there as well. You're watching this video in our weekly to-do list. So I will send out these weekly to-do lists through our instructor announcements. So you should be receiving them via email. And if you don't check your email often, do make sure that you are checking the instructor announcements folder as well, because they will be sent through there, and then they get emailed out from here. So if you don't check your school email, just look in here probably at least a couple times a week. So I will be sending out announcements at least a few times a week. One will be this type of announcement where I give you information about what to do each week, as well as reminder announcements as to when an assignment is about to be due, as well as things that have come up that you might need to be aware of. So do check the instructor announcements folders regularly, as well as your emails. Okay. So as far as your weekly to-do list this week, probably the most important thing is to order your lab manual. So the lab manual that you're going to be ordering, you must purchase directly from the CCC bookstore. So the CCC bookstore is the only place that has it, because it was created specifically for our course. Okay, so for Bio 112 here at CCC. So you can't get it from Amazon. You can't, go to Barnes & Noble and pick it up, or anywhere else. Okay, so you have to get it directly from the CCC bookstore. So you can purchase it online at the CCC online bookstore if you don't want to go in person, and it's $59.25. That is all you need to purchase, okay? You don't need to purchase the textbook that they suggested, because we do have an option for you to use instead, okay? So that's the only thing that you need to do as far as the text for that. So this is what it looks like, the laboratory investigations for Biology 112. So either go in person to the bookstore and pick it up, or you can just order it from the CCC bookstore, and hopefully it'll get to you sometime this week. The other textbook that you will be getting will either, you can get the OpenStax textbook, which is available right here for free. Okay, so this is a free OpenStax textbook. So there it is, no purchase necessary. It's there. You can even download it if you want it, download it onto your laptop and have it there forever. So you don't need to purchase a separate textbook. Okay, so the only thing you have to purchase is the lab manual. So the lab manual only comes in physical textbook or physical lab manual that you'll have in print, and you will fill out throughout the course. Okay, so this is, what did I say, $59.25? That's the only thing that you're going to have to purchase. Okay, the actual textbook for this course, we will just provide the link for you that you can access right here whenever you need to access the textbook. Okay. So throughout this week, please familiarize yourself with the beginning part of Moodle. So you'll see that we have a folder for instructor announcements. So again, I'll be filling this folder with announcements throughout the term. Probably expect a couple emails, as I said, each week. So if you don't check your emails, check that at least a couple times a week. This is an ask and share forum, so if you ever have a question about an assignment, or you're confused about something, guess what? Probably somebody else in the class has the same question as you. So go ahead and ask it in the forum, okay? And then this goes out to the entire class, and then somebody can help you, okay? I can help you, another student can help you, and that way we can all help each other, and you can probably get a quicker response than just emailing me directly, okay? So this is something that is helpful, especially when it comes time for, you know, answering a question on an assignment. You're confused about the wording of a particular, you know, question. You don't quite understand how you should answer something. It's just, it doesn't make sense to you. You might just want to ask, you know, I'm confused about question number, you know, 3 on this lecture homework. I don't know if they want me to draw a picture or if they want me to, you know, write it out. Anybody have any advice or something like that? And then somebody can get back to you right away instead of waiting for me to answer it, which, you know, might take, you know, 24 hours. Okay, so that would be a good option for you to ask the class to help you instead of just ask me. If you have a question that's of a more personal nature, you know, feel free to email me instead. Okay. My office hours, I will have online office hours. So here's my link for my online office hours. So I do have office hours. It will be held this term on Monday mornings from 8 to 9 a.m. and then Fridays in the afternoon from 2 to 2:30. If either of those times don't work for you, I do have office hours by appointment. So if you, you know, just can't make my office hours and you know, really need to meet with me, just email me a date and a time and we can see if we can set up an office hours together. Typically I'm available, you know, Monday through Friday, 8 to 6 p.m. Sometimes, you know, I do have other obligations throughout the week, but we can, you know, try to work something out. Okay. And when we do set up an appointment, or if, you know, you're going to meet me during one of these, during my office hours, you just click on that link and we'll go into Zoom and we'll be in there. Okay. So that's our office hours. I already talked to you about the Clackamas, the textbook. So there's our textbook link. I do have a welcome letter, so you can read the welcome letter. That includes information about the course, so do read that sometime this week to give you some expectations of what this course is going to be like, give you some, you know, expectations about what you need to do, how to set up, you know, your study schedule, and then what you should be expecting of me. Okay. We have the syllabus. So this is something that you'll want to read through as well very carefully. Specifically, you might want to, you know, print out the weekly calendar too to kind of keep track of the chapters in the textbook and the lab manual and things like that. Okay. And then it's also a good idea to understand, you know, what the point values and, you know, the assignments and when things are due and, you know, what the topics are and stuff like that. So highlighting some of the important information from the syllabus, you'll notice when you open the syllabus, my email address is right in front and center, so that's how you can contact me. And then, you know, there's my office hours. You have a link to the textbook if you need it, and then the lab manual information as well. There is another textbook that you can use if you've, you know, had friends take the course in the past and then they have the old textbook that was used. It's the Campbell Biology textbook, Concepts and Connections. If you have that textbook in your possession, feel free to use that as well. Or instead of the OpenStax textbook, you know, that's fine as well. We just switched to the OpenStax textbook just so that students didn't have to spend a bunch of money buying a separate textbook. So if you have an old copy of one laying around, you know, feel free to use that if you want. You do need to have regular internet because it's an online course, as well as the ability to download and upload PDF files. So you should be able to, especially we're going to be taking pictures of our lab manual throughout the course, because you're going to be writing in your lab manual, your information. So typically what I use is Adobe Scan. So it's a free app that you can use on your cell phone. And Adobe Scan, you can actually just open up Adobe Scan on your phone, and it opens up a camera, and you can line it up with the page that you want to take a picture of, and you can snap a picture of that lab page that you need to submit, and it automatically converts it to a PDF file. So that way you can submit your lab work, your lab pages, which you're going to have to do, as PDF files. Okay, so it's an easy way to do it instead of having to, if you don't have a scanner at home, you don't have to scan things. Okay, so luckily we do have that technology that's free, that's available with the help of our cell phones. You also need access to a printer because you will need to be printing off some items throughout the term. If you don't have a printer at home, no worries. You will. There is an option of going to the campus computer center, and they do, or any of the computers on campus. They with each term you do have, I believe it's 100 pages of printing access for free. So you can print using just your student account. Be able to print for free off of any of our computers. Okay. But that means you have to come to campus. So if you're taking any classes on campus, otherwise, if you don't have a printer, you can go to any, local library or print center, something like that. You might have to, go to, a friend's house and borrow their printer or something like that. Okay. Just a couple things that I do want to point out with the, excuse me, the information. We do have several due dates, so most of the assignments will be due Sunday midnight every week. So just get in the habit of making sure that you're submitting everything by Sunday. Okay. Quizzes will always be due Monday midnight. So hopefully, I will grade everything Monday, and then that way if there's any corrections that you need to be, making, you can do that before you take the quiz. Okay. If you get anything in earlier than Sunday, I'll try to grade it so that, you can be able to take the quiz before the deadline. Okay, so if you turn something in on Saturday or on Friday, I'll try to grade it so that you can take the quiz on Sunday. Okay, if you don't want to wait till Monday night. All right, if you do turn something in early and I grade it, that doesn't mean you get to redo it. Okay, so once it's graded, okay? So no take backs. All right. So once it's if you have any questions before you submit it, email me those questions before you submit it. Once it's submitted, you've turned it in, you're ready for it to be graded. Okay, so no take backs after you've submitted it. As far as the assessments, each week you will be basically turning in a unit review worksheet. So this has to do with the lecture side of things. So this is basically a worksheet that checks your understanding of the information from the chapter readings and the lectures. So these worksheets are going to be due by Sunday midnight. You will occasionally be getting these homeostasis worksheets. Those are 3 assignments throughout the term. So same thing, those will be due by Sunday midnight most of the time. And then we'll have lecture lab quizzes. So those will be Monday midnight. So the lecture lab quizzes, about 80% of the questions will be based on the lecture portion of the class. About 20% will be based on the lab portion of the class. For the exams, there'll be 2 exams. There'll be a midterm in week 6 and a final exam during finals week. They're both going to be online. This is completely remote course, so you will never have to go into a classroom. So it'll be completely online. You'll be taking the exam. You'll choose, when you want to take it. It'll open up Sunday 8 a.m. and close midnight on Tuesday. So you'll just have to choose a time between then to take it and, give yourself 90 minutes to complete it. Okay? And it's a very, multiple choice essay type, exam. Same with the final exam, open on 8 a.m. on Sunday and it'll close Wednesday midnight. So you have to, choose a time between then to take the 2-hour exam. Okay? This course, has the lab component as well. So the Moodle page covers both. You don't have a separate Moodle page for lab. So for the lab, you have completed lab pages. So those are the portions from the lab manual that you'll be taking pictures of with your phone, and then using the Adobe Scan as I suggested, or another type of app program, and then uploading them and submitting them for points to prove that you did the lab. So that's this completed lab portion. So that's done weekly. And then you have this other worksheet that you'll be completing that is kind of reviewing your understanding of the lab. So that's another kind of homework assignment that's you'll be completing weekly. That's due Sunday midnight. And then throughout the term, in week 5, we'll be doing this experiment, and then the rest of the term will be kind of working with the results of this experiment to compile a scientific report on it. So we'll be working on this scientific report with each other. So that's what that's all about, but we're not going to talk about it now. Okay. As far as the general understanding of this course, even though it's an online course, it is not easy. A lot of students think, oh, it's going to be easier than the in-person course. It's actually harder because you're learning on your own. And a lot of students fall in the trap that since they're not attending the in-person course, they tend to procrastinate. So you'll want to really set up a schedule to keep yourself on task. Okay, so you should be spending about 12 to 16 hours per week on this course. Okay, so that includes watching the lectures, reading the chapter readings, doing the labs, doing the worksheets, studying, all of that time. Okay, so you might want to, don't plan on just doing everything over the weekend. So you really need to spread it out, a couple hours on Monday, a couple hours on Wednesday, a couple hours on Friday, that kind of thing. So don't just, leave it to one day and expect to retain all that knowledge. You have to kind of spread it out. Okay. So you can read through the rest and give you some information. You can look at the grade breakdowns and so forth. Okay, and then at the end, so that's just some general information for you. Okay, we do have a lab kit waiver release form and shipping address that you'll need to complete this week. So because this is an online course, we need some information from you so that we can ship you a mini lab kit that includes some stuff that you're going to be using to complete some of the labs at home. Okay, so you'll need to fill out some information so that we can ship you this little mini kit. Okay. So please do that no later than October 6th. If you submit it after October 6th, we might not get the lab kit to you, okay? And then you will need to purchase some items or have them available on your own, okay? So like a ruler, some, containers, egg white, butter, that kind of stuff for some of our labs. So just have them available. You can go to the 99-cent store, get some balloons. A lot of these you can just get at the grocery store. Okay, so those are some of the items that you'll need throughout the term. Okay, so that is due no later than Sunday, October 6th. Okay, if you submit it October 7th, you risk the chance of not getting your lab kit. Okay, because our lab techs, they're gonna probably fill them and send them out on Monday, October 7th. Okay, and then again, here's that shopping list if you want to print it out and have it available for you. Okay, and then basically the final thing for this kind of intro Moodle part is introduce yourself. So if you can sometime this week, go ahead and introduce yourself. I will post a introduction. I'll do it in a video format so you can actually just see me talking, and I'll give you a little spiel about myself. But I'd like you to do the same thing for yourself, but you don't have to do it in a video. You can just, type up a couple of sentences about yourself. So if you can give me some information about you, including like if you prefer a different name than what is on the roster, and then just include why you're taking this course, especially like if you're a health science major, what field of health science are you interested in? Are you interested in going into nursing? If so, what field of nursing? Radiology? Are you interested in becoming EMT, that kind of thing? If not health science, what's your, why are you taking this class? Are you, going into other fields, that kind of thing. And then, it's always also something interesting about yourself. So, you can give something about like the hobbies you're interested in, stuff like that as well. So it might be interesting to you, okay? And the rest of us. And then once you post that, maybe come back a couple days later and read what other students have posted. And it's a way that we can get to know each other, even though this is a remote class, okay? The homeostasis lecture projects, we'll ignore for now, but just realize that this is where they will be. And then same with the lab resources. This is for the lab project that we'll talk about in week 5. Okay, so let's get into Unit 1, scientific process. So if we go back to our week 1 to-do list, we have a few things that we need to do this week. Okay, so we're going to be reading chapter 1 from our OpenStax textbook. Or if you're using the old Campbell Biology book, it would be chapters 1 and 2. And then you're going to be basically watching some lectures that I've created, and you can fill out the Unit 1 objective. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay. So each week you'll notice there's a lecture material section and a lab material section, and then down here we have supplemental resources and then assessments and assignments. So I have the lecture materials. Under the lecture materials are these Unit 1 objectives. So these are basically something that you can use as note-taking. So, unfortunately, a lot of times, our, high schooling, grade schooling never taught us how to write notes, or take notes properly. So this is a way that we can kind of, learn how to take notes in this type of course. So since nobody really taught us how to take notes, sometimes when we open the textbook, we basically write down everything, or, we write down information that doesn't really need to be written down. So this is a way that we can organize our notes. So we can use information from the, as we're reading through the textbook, and we can answer these questions along the way. Okay, so this kind of gives us a highlight of the information that we should be learning about and mastering in order to do well on the quizzes. Okay, so this is a good study guide basically. And you might even think about it as your study guide. So this is basically, ignore it, this is like the old Campbell Biology chapter 1 and 2. So this is chapter 1 from our OpenStax textbook. And, think about, this is the chapter 1 study guide. Okay, so think about, trying to fill this out using the information from the lectures, videos, as well as the textbook. Okay, so you can print it out, or have it on your computer and type it out, however you want to do it. Okay, this does not get submitted for points. This is just a way that you can organize your notes. Okay. All right. So let me go back to there. And then I have lecture videos for chapter 1. And if you notice with the textbook, let me go back to the textbook. The textbook for chapter 1, it's broken up into sections. So we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections. Okay, but actually this section is basically the same as this section. So I only have actually 4 sections. I consider it 4 sections. So I made 4 videos, 1 for each section for this this unit. Okay, so when you go into my lecture videos, I do it by these kind of books here. So I have a lecture video on the first section. So you can use, watch my lecture video. And these are YouTube videos. So if you go into my YouTube video, I do have like a YouTube channel. And, you're welcome to just subscribe to it if it's easier for you to like find the videos later on. And they're in order. I have like a playlist for Bio 112. And it goes by order of 1.1, and then it goes into 1.2, 1.3, 1.4 for the sections and so forth. Or you can just go into Moodle and do 1.1 and then click next, and there's 1.2, the next video, and then 1.3, the next video, and then, or 1.4, the next video, and then 1.5, the last video. Okay, so there's all 4 videos that cover chapter 1, our first chapter in our textbook. Okay, so once you have completed the chapter lecture videos, okay, that completes the lecture material section of our Unit 1. So I recommend completing this section by Friday this week. Okay. And then working on the worksheet. Okay, so we have a worksheet that's due by Sunday midnight. So this worksheet is, it's, fairly simple, but you're going to be using what you learned from the textbook reading and the lecture videos to basically, fill in the information. Okay, so you have, you can print this out and write in your answers, or you can, type it up. If you have a PDF editor, you can, type it up that way. I actually, I just noticed this is just in PDF format. I will go ahead and make sure there's a Word document format in here as well for you if you prefer Word. But you'll notice that each time you'll see it either in a Word or PDF format. Those are the 2 options, and that way when you submit the final assignment completed, when you submit it, add submission, you either need to submit it as a PDF or a Word document. Okay, no other options. Okay, you can't submit it as a JPEG, you cannot submit it as a hike, you cannot submit it as any other version. Okay, so it has to be submitted as a PDF or Word formatted file. Okay, and so that's going to be due no later than Sunday midnight. Okay, so moving on into the lab portion of the class. So with the lab portion of the class, we have our first lab, and this lab is a 2-part lab. So the first part, I have a video that covers the first part, which is the lab 1, scientific inquiry, metrics, measurements, and graphs. So you want to watch this video while you have the lab in front of you. So here's the actual lab. So the lab you can download it and print it out, or download it and just have it in front of you and fill it out as you go along. Okay, so I recommend you can download it in, again, PDF format, or you can have it in Word format. Okay, either one works. Okay, so watch the video and have this either version available while you're watching the video, just so you can see what you're supposed to be doing in this portion of the lab. Okay. Next, we have another lab. So this is the only time you have 2 labs. Okay, this week. This other lab is out of your published lab manual. So if you don't have your lab manual yet, which we completely understand, you'll just click on this link, and this link will give you to a lab manual. Okay, so this is what the lab manual looks like. So I have this link for you to walk you through the lab. Okay. I hate how it just keeps going back. Okay, let's go back. So with this link, I do have another video that covers this portions of this lab manual, so I recommend watching this video while you work your way through the lab. And it says here you're going to only do pages 1 through 10 and 16 through 21 of your lab manual. Okay, and then for completion points, you're going to be basically submitting pages 2, pages 5, pages 6, 10, and the graphs from pages 12 for points. Okay, so basically your assignment, your lab assignment, is to turn in these 5 pages from your lab manual. Okay, so where do you turn in those pages? You're going to turn them in right here. Okay, so for 5 points, you're going to convert these pages. If you printed them out from like the lab manual, or if you have the lab manual, you'll take a picture using your Adobe Scan or whatever and converting them to the PDF format, PDF file. Or if you just have them available from the directly from here, you can go ahead and just cut out the extra pages and then submit them as a PDF file, and then just add the submission for 5 points. Okay, so once you add the submission, you'll be done with that assignment. Okay. We do have an extra quiz this week. So this quiz will be in replacement of doing an extra reviewing your knowledge worksheet. So this has to do with like the scientific method and stuff like that. So this quiz you can do multiple times. So it's unlimited attempts, and unlimited time, and there's 5 questions. You can do it over and over and over again until you get 5 out of 5. Right? And then the final thing that you need to do this week is take the Unit 1 lecture lab quiz. So this one you only get 1 attempt, okay, but you get 25 minutes to do it. So do make sure that you're prepared to take the quiz once you do it. It's 20 points. So this is a big, quiz. So make sure that you're ready to take the quiz. When you go to take the quiz, it's 25 minutes long. Of course, if you finish early, you just submit the quiz and you're done. But watch your time if you are a slow quiz taker. This is, no notes, no, Google or anything like that. So be prepared before you take the quiz. Okay, and so the quiz will cover just the Unit 1, so that includes basically everything from here to there. Okay, so Chapter 1 and the lab portion. All right, so if we look at our to-do list, hopefully before you take the quiz, you will have checked off all of these boxes. Okay, and then by the time we get down here, that's the last thing you'll do. All right. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or stop by my office hours this week. Otherwise, good luck, everyone.